Meta abandons the metaverse after 73 billion spent. Meta's enormous bet on virtual reality ended last week, with the company reportedly laying off roughly 1,500 employees. Damn, that's a lot of employees. From its Reality Labs division. About 10% of the unit staff. Reality Labs had 15,000 employees. It's a huge reversal for a company that just 4 years ago staked its entire identity on the concept. They should have just go with VR and not the fucking metaverse, because there's a lot of potential and even there's a lot of application and games that are being played by people. You know, the one I mostly know and that I think might be still the biggest VR game is VRChat, of course. 46,000 people every day connect to VRChat. So that's a fairly successful game, huh? Especially in this niche that is VR, right? So yeah, some things work, right? It's just that for some reason, Facebook Meta wanted to really pound on one thing that just failed. In part, the decision was a bet on Gen Z's preference to socialize in online games like Fortnite and Roblox, as opposed to traditional social media apps. Yeah, but that's not why it failed. It failed because the game was lame. Fast forward, and the metaverse has effectively been abandoned in favor of AI. It really feels like Zuck, you know, changes ideas every month or something. They have some successes. It's just a shame that the Meta Quest, which is the only thing that like sold a bunch, were actually sold at a loss. You know, sad. I think Zuck failed to recognize that the VRChat audience that he could have tried to snatch, you know, was actually very, very specific, and he never cared about catering to this audience, to these kinds of communities. You know, like he cared for a very narrow, I mean, non-existing mainstream audience, I think. You know, he wanted this to become like the Facebook of VR. But the problem is that the mainstream people that you see on Facebook, they're not interested in VR. It's very specific people who are invested in VR. Even if you spend $73 billion, that's a lot of fucking money. $73 billion. Just to illustrate the fact that it's not because you build something that people will come.